The alien queen wrapped me in her arms and declared, "You belong to me." Human Captain Liam Rourke had seen many strange things in his career as an interstellar explorer, but nothing prepared him for the sight that awaited him when his shuttle descended onto the alien world of Veyara 9. The planet's surface shimmered under a violet sun, casting long, twisting shadows over vast plains dotted with enormous crystal formations. The crystals hummed faintly, as though alive, vibrating with an energy that made the hairs on Liam's arms stand on end. He had been sent on a routine survey mission. The Galactic Council had detected unusual energy readings on Veyara 9, and it was his job to investigate. Yet as he stepped onto the soft, spongy ground, he felt a strange pull, not just magnetic or gravitational, but something deeper, something alive. "Control, do you read me?" Liam said into his comm. His voice sounded oddly distant in the wide open plains. "I'm on the surface." No life forms detected, but the crystals there, moving. Static buzzed in his ear. Then a soft, melodic hum responded, not from his comm, but from the ground itself. Liam knelt to touch one of the crystals. The surface was warm, almost like skin, and the humming intensified. He pulled his hand back, startled, as a sudden ripple ran through the field. Then he saw her. The alien queen emerged from behind a cluster of crystalline towers, tall and elegant, her form shimmering like the crystals themselves. She had 6 arms, each ending in delicate, almost human-like hands, yet her skin glimmered with an otherworldly iridescence. Her eyes were large and luminous, reflecting the violet sky, and when she looked at Liam, he felt as if she could see every secret thought in his mind. "Human," she said, her voice like music carried on the wind. "You have come far. You are brave or foolish." Liam straightened, trying to hide his fear. I mean no harm. I am Captain Liam Rourke of the Galactic Council. I was sent to explore your planet." The queen tilted her head, studying him. "You are far from your home world, little human, yet there is something in you, a fire that burns brighter than your kind usually possesses." Liam swallowed hard. "Fire?" Her smile was soft, almost imperceptible. "Curiosity, courage. The will to walk into the unknown, even when it might destroy you." The humming from the crystals grew louder, surrounding them in a symphony of sound that made Liam's head spin. He felt dizzy, but also strangely calm. I don't understand," he admitted. "You will," she said. She stepped closer, each movement fluid and mesmerizing. The air around her seemed to ripple like heat over sand. "Come with me, human. Do not fear. You belong with me now." Liam's training screamed at him to resist. The stories of humans lost to alien worlds ran through his mind. Yet there was something in her eyes, a gentle insistence that made him hesitate. Before he could decide, she extended one of her arms. "Do not fight," she whispered. "You are safe with me." Against every instinct, Liam felt his body move forward. Her hand was soft, warm, and when she wrapped her arms around him, the world seemed to dissolve. The humming of the crystals merged with his heartbeat, forming a rhythm that pulled him into a strange, dreamlike state. "You belong to me, human," she said again, this time more firmly. "And I will protect you, guide you, and teach you. You are part of something greater now." The words sent shivers down his spine. Liam had never encountered an alien who spoke with such clarity and understanding. Most encounters with extraterrestrial life involved threats, trade, or avoidance. But this was different. This was an invitation and a command. He wanted to speak, to assert his independence, but his voice failed him. Instead, he only nodded, feeling the weight of her arms around him. In that embrace, he felt home. Not Earth home, not spaceship home, but a new home, strange and unfamiliar, yet undeniably real. As they stood together, the landscape of Veyara 9 began to change. The crystals around them pulsed with light, casting shadows that danced like living creatures. Birds, or something like them, with translucent wings, flew overhead, singing in harmonies that Liam could almost understand. He realized he had stepped not just onto a planet, but into an ecosystem that was aware, conscious, and welcoming him in a way no human world ever had. "Follow me," the queen said, releasing him gently but keeping her gaze fixed on him. "There is much you must see. Much you must learn. Your journey is only beginning." They walked together toward a massive structure that rose like a cathedral of crystal. Its spires twisted toward the violet sky, each one glowing faintly from within. Liam couldn't tell if it was natural or built, organic or mechanical. Perhaps it was both. Inside, the air was warmer, carrying a scent that was sweet and earthy, almost like flowers but sharper, alive. The walls seemed to pulse, breathing in time with the queen's steps. Liam realized that every sound, every movement was amplified and echoed, as though the building itself were alive and aware of his presence. "You must understand, human," she said, leading him deeper. "On Vayara 9, we value strength, courage, and understanding. You have shown two of these already. The third you will learn." Liam glanced at her. "Understanding of what?" Her smile deepened, and she gestured to a glowing pool at the center of the hall. The liquid shimmered with colors he had no names for. "Of life, of existence. Of your place in the universe. You are not just a visitor here, you are part of a greater design." He peered into the pool and saw visions flickering across the surface. Vast fleets of alien ships, worlds connected by energy streams, and humans like him, standing beside beings of all shapes and sizes, united in purpose. His heart pounded. Was this real or a vision? "You see only a fraction," the queen said softly, noting his expression. "There is much you will witness, much you will experience, but first, you must accept that you are mine. Only then can the true journey begin." Liam took a deep breath. Everything inside him screamed caution, but something deeper, something primal, urged him to trust. The fear that had gripped him since landing began to fade, replaced by a strange exhilaration. He nodded once. I accept." The queen's 6 arms reached out again, and this time she pulled him closer, wrapping him in a protective, almost maternal embrace. "Good," she said. "You will not regret this. Humanity has much to learn, and I have chosen you to begin that journey." Outside, the violet sun dipped toward the horizon, casting long shadows across the crystal plains. Liam felt a sense of awe and anticipation unlike anything he had ever known. The adventure was only beginning, and though he could not see the path ahead, he trusted the queen's guidance. For the first time in his life, Liam felt truly alive, truly part of something vast, beautiful, and terrifying. And as the stars began to appear one by one in the deep violet sky, he understood that nothing would ever be the same again. The interior of the crystalline cathedral-like structure seemed endless. Its walls shifted subtly, reflecting light in ways that made it impossible for Liam to determine their true size. Each step echoed with a soft, musical tone, as if the building itself were acknowledging his presence. The alien queen walked ahead, her movements smooth and effortless, 6 arms swaying slightly, giving her an aura of power and elegance that made Liam's chest tighten with awe. "You are uneasy," the queen observed, turning her head slightly, her luminous eyes catching the light of the crystals. Liam hesitated, then nodded. I don't know what to expect. Everything here is unlike anything I've ever seen." "That is why you are here," she replied softly. "To learn, to see the universe beyond the limits of your species. Humanity has potential, but most humans are blind to it. You may be different." They reached a large chamber where the floor was composed of transparent crystal. Below it, Liam could see a network of glowing roots stretching far into the depths, pulsing with energy. Small creatures, almost like floating jellyfish made of light, moved gracefully among the roots. Liam had never seen life forms like this. Their movement was so fluid that it seemed impossible they were real. "These are the Luminari," the queen explained. "They are the caretakers of Vayara 9. They maintain the balance of life, energy, and thought. They can sense emotion, courage, and curiosity. And now they sense you." Liam watched as the glowing creatures slowly drifted toward him. Despite their alien appearance, they radiated a gentle warmth, brushing against his skin with soft pulses of light. His fear eased, replaced by wonder. "You see, human," the queen continued, "the universe is not just about survival. It is about understanding, connection, and growth. On Earth, your kind learns through struggle and trial. Here, you will learn through balance and observation. Both are necessary." He nodded, trying to absorb everything she said. His mind raced, struggling to comprehend the alien philosophies she described. "And what do I need to do?" he asked. "Observe first, then act, but never act without understanding. Every choice has weight. Every thought carries consequence. This world will test you in ways that your species has never faced." The queen extended one of her arms and gestured toward a pool of shimmering liquid at the center of the chamber. The liquid reflected not the chamber, but Liam himself. He leaned over, seeing his own reflection shift and shimmer, showing fleeting images of places he had never been, yet felt strangely familiar. Cities with impossible architecture, skies with multiple suns, and beings of forms he could not even imagine. "This pool shows possibilities," she explained. What could be, what might be, and what should be. To touch it is to glimpse the universe's potential, but it requires focus. Can you do it, human? Liam hesitated. The temptation was enormous, but so was the risk. Still, his curiosity overcame his fear. He reached toward the liquid. The moment his fingers brushed the surface, a rush of images flooded his mind. He saw Earth from orbit, glowing with life, yet teetering on the edge of chaos. He saw humans reaching for the stars, building massive vessels to explore unknown systems. He saw conflicts, peace, triumphs, and failures, all intertwined. He stumbled backward, gasping for breath. The images faded, leaving him with a strange clarity. I think I understand, he said, his voice trembling. So much it's all connected. The Queen's eyes glimmered with satisfaction. Good, understanding comes before power. Humanity often seeks the latter without the former. You will learn to balance both. She led him to a narrower passageway, lined with crystals that emitted a soft blue glow. As they walked, Liam felt a strange energy coursing through him, not painful but invigorating. His senses sharpened. He could hear the distant hum of crystals, the subtle vibrations of the structure itself, and even the faint pulse of the luminary beneath the floor. Your species has always relied on technology, the Queen said, sensing his wonder. And yet you forget the power of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. To survive the universe, you must strengthen all three. That is the lesson you will begin here. They entered a large dome where the floor was soft and covered in what seemed like moss but shimmered like liquid metal. In the center floated an orb of pure energy, rotating slowly, casting light in ever-changing patterns. Liam felt drawn to it, a force he could not resist. This is the orb of awareness, the Queen explained. It will show you who you truly are, but beware, the orb reflects not only your strengths but your fears, weaknesses, and doubts. Can you face yourself, human? Liam swallowed. His hands were sweaty, his heart pounding. Yet he nodded. I'll try. The moment he touched the orb, the world around him vanished. He was no longer in the chamber, but in a void of swirling colors and shapes. Memories, desires, fears, all manifested as tangible forms around him. He saw his childhood on Earth, the struggles of growing up, the dreams of exploring the stars, and the sacrifices he had made. He saw moments of fear, indecision, and loss. Then the orb shifted, showing visions of the future. Humans working alongside alien species, exploring strange worlds, facing dangers far beyond anything Earth had known. And amidst it all, Liam himself, standing strong, leading, and surviving. Tears filled his eyes. He had never imagined such possibilities, yet he felt them as real. The orb seemed to whisper to him, showing that courage, compassion, and intellect could shape the future, not just for him, but for his species. You are learning, the Queen's voice echoed around him. Do not fear yourself, do not fear what you can become. Humanity has potential beyond its current understanding. You are a symbol of that potential. The visions faded, and Liam found himself back in the dome. He was panting, exhausted, yet invigorated. His mind was sharper, his resolve stronger. You see, human, the Queen said, approaching him, her arms wrapping around him gently, strength without understanding is chaos. Knowledge without courage is useless. You have both in small measure. You will grow them here. Liam nodded, feeling the warmth of her presence. I feel different, stronger, but also more aware, like I understand more than I should. That is the first step, she said, releasing him but keeping her eyes on him. You will face trials that will test everything you know. But you are not alone. I will guide you, protect you, and challenge you. Together, we will explore what humanity can become. For the next several hours, Liam followed the Queen through the halls of the crystalline palace. She introduced him to other beings, some humanoid, others utterly alien, all living in harmony. Each encounter taught him something new. Patience, observation, communication without words, and the importance of empathy, even with species vastly different from his own. By the time they returned to a small chamber where he would rest, Liam felt both exhausted and exhilarated. He had seen wonders beyond imagination and felt a connection to the universe he had never known existed. You will sleep now, human, the Queen said, gently guiding him to a resting platform that shimmered with soft light. Dreams here are not idle. They teach, reveal, and prepare. Tomorrow, your lessons continue and the challenges begin. Are you ready? Liam looked at her, a mixture of awe and determination in his eyes. I think I am. She smiled, a soft and gentle expression that seemed to radiate warmth through the entire chamber. Good, rest now, tomorrow, your true journey begins. As he closed his eyes, the light of the chamber dimmed to a soothing glow. Liam could feel the energy of the planet, the presence of the Luminari, and the power of the alien queen surrounding him. For the first time in his life, he felt not just alive, but part of something vast, greater than himself, and filled with purpose. And in his dreams, he glimpsed the future, humanity reaching for the stars, guided by the wisdom of alien worlds, standing as equals among the stars, and him at the center of a destiny that would change everything. When Liam awoke, the chamber was bathed in a soft, golden glow. The light seemed alive, shifting with his breath, as though the room itself sensed his presence. The alien queen was already there, waiting beside the glowing platform. Her 6 arms moved slowly, each gesture elegant and purposeful, as if conducting a symphony only she could hear. "Good morning, human," she said. "Rest has strengthened you, but now your lessons must advance. Today you face your first trial." Liam rubbed his eyes and sat up. "Trial?" he asked, trying to shake off the remnants of sleep. "What kind of trial?" "Not a test of strength alone, nor of intellect alone," she explained. "A combination of both. The trial will measure your courage, your understanding, and your ability to adapt. The crystal realm itself will guide you." She led him out of the chamber and into a vast open courtyard. The ground was covered in crystalline formations that sparkled under the light of the planet's violet sun. Each crystal reflected not only light but subtle images, memories, thoughts, and possibilities. It was beautiful but also disorienting. Liam felt dizzy as the shifting images threatened to overwhelm him. "Focus," the queen instructed. "Do not let the illusions distract you. Each crystal represents a choice. You must navigate them wisely. One wrong step could trap you in the crystal realm indefinitely." Liam swallowed hard. He had always prided himself on his composure under pressure, but the scale of this challenge was unlike anything he had faced. The crystals seemed almost alive, their colors shifting like water. He could see glimpses of himself making mistakes, failing missions, and being left behind in alien worlds. He shook his head. I can do this," he muttered. "Then begin," the queen said. With a graceful motion, she gestured, and the path forward opened, a narrow trail winding between massive crystals that shimmered like liquid metal. As Liam stepped onto the trail, the crystals pulsed, and the images changed. Now he saw visions of his crewmates, people he cared about, in danger. Each vision required a choice: save one or another or let events unfold. Every decision carried weight, and Liam realized that the trial was testing not just his courage, but his sense of morality and judgment. He paused at the first split. On one side, a crystal reflected his closest friend from the Galactic Council, trapped in a collapsing alien building. On the other, another crystal showed a group of explorers on the verge of being swept away by a deadly storm. Liam's heart raced. If he chose wrong, the crystal realm would punish him. He closed his eyes and focused, recalling the queen's words, "Do not act without understanding." Slowly, he analyzed the patterns in the visions, the way the crystals pulsed, the faint vibrations in the air. Using logic and intuition, he made a choice, stepping toward the group of explorers. The crystals shimmered, then split apart, clearing the path. Liam exhaled in relief, realizing that his understanding of the situation had allowed him to avoid disaster. Encouraged, he continued, navigating through more challenging visions. Some were emotional tests. He faced illusions of fear, doubt, and loneliness, all designed to unsettle him. Others were puzzles, requiring him to manipulate the crystals in precise sequences to open hidden pathways. Hours passed. Liam's body ached, but his mind sharpened. He began to notice patterns, connections between the crystals, and the way the realm responded to his actions. He realized that the trial was not meant to break him, but to teach him, to expand his awareness, refine his judgment, and prepare him for the complexities of the universe. At the heart of the crystal realm, he encountered a massive formation, a towering crystal spire that glowed with all the colors of the spectrum. The spire pulsed with a rhythm that matched his own heartbeat, and Liam understood instinctively that this was the final test. A voice echoed, though the queen was not beside him. "Human, do you understand what you seek? Are you ready to face yourself fully?" Liam nodded, even though he was alone. I am ready," he said aloud. The spire responded, its surface rippling like water. Reflections emerged, not of past or future, but of his innermost self. He saw fears he had never acknowledged, doubts he had buried, and dreams he had almost forgotten. He saw the human species as a whole, its flaws, its courage, its potential. And at the center, he saw himself, not just a captain, not just a human, but a bridge between worlds, capable of guiding humanity toward something greater. Tears blurred his vision as he reached out and touched the crystal. Energy surged through him, filling him with warmth, clarity, and strength. For the first time, Liam felt fully connected to the universe, the living world of Vayara 9, the alien queen, and even Earth. "You have succeeded," the queen's voice echoed from everywhere and nowhere. "You have shown courage, understanding, and wisdom. Few humans could have done what you have done today. Few could see beyond fear and self-interest to embrace the greater whole. You are ready for what comes next." Liam stumbled back, exhausted but exhilarated. I understand now. I can see the bigger picture, not just for me, but for all humans." The queen appeared beside him once more, wrapping her arms around him in a protective, reassuring embrace. "Yes, human, that is why I chose you. You are not merely a visitor here. You are a symbol of potential. Humanity has much to learn and much to contribute. Together, we will explore it." Liam looked up at her, awe and determination mingling in his eyes. I want to learn. I want to help. I want to prove that humans can rise to this challenge." The queen's smile radiated warmth and approval. "Then you shall. But know this, the universe is vast and the challenges will grow. Today's trial was only the beginning. Tomorrow you will face tests that require strength beyond thought, courage beyond fear, and wisdom beyond knowledge. Are you prepared, human?" Liam took a deep breath, feeling the energy of the crystal realm still flowing through him. "I am ready." "Good," she said, releasing him gently but keeping her gaze fixed on him. "Rest now, for tomorrow the true journey begins. You will encounter creatures and civilizations that test every skill you possess. You will make choices that affect not just your life, but countless others. And through it all, you will grow." As Liam settled onto a resting platform, the alien queen watched him, her expression unreadable yet filled with a strange pride. He closed his eyes, feeling the pulse of Vayara 9 beneath him, and allowed himself to drift into sleep, dreams filled with visions of distant worlds, alien species, and humanity standing boldly among the stars. In his dreams, he saw the challenges ahead, enormous beasts roaming the jungles of unexplored planets, intelligent species testing his diplomacy, and situations requiring split-second decisions. But through it all, he felt a new confidence. He had faced the crystal realm and emerged stronger. He had glimpsed the true potential of himself and his species. And with the guidance of the alien queen, he believed that nothing, not fear, not danger, not the vast unknown, could stop him. When he awoke, the queen was already there, as always. "Your trials continue today," she said simply. "You will venture beyond this palace into the wilds of Vayara 9. There, your courage and understanding will be tested in ways the crystal realm could not simulate." "Are you ready to leave the safety of the palace?" Liam nodded firmly. "I am ready. I will face whatever awaits." "Then follow me," the queen said, leading him to a grand exit that opened onto a breathtaking vista. Mountains of glittering crystal rose in jagged peaks, rivers of liquid light flowed between them, and strange creatures moved gracefully in the distance. The air was thick with energy, alive with possibility. "This is the first step outside," she said. "Every decision you make here affects your future and the future of others. Remember the lessons of the crystal realm. Observe, understand, act. Only then can you succeed." Liam felt the weight of her words. He knew that the challenges ahead would be more dangerous, more unpredictable, and far more complex than anything he had faced in the palace. Yet, he also knew that he was not the same human who had first stepped onto Vayara 9. He was stronger, wiser, and connected to the greater whole in ways he had never imagined. With the queen's guidance, he stepped forward into the alien wilderness, ready to prove himself, not just as a human, but as a representative of humanity in a universe that demanded courage, understanding, and resilience. And as the light of the violet sun bathed the crystalline landscape, Liam felt the stirring of destiny. The journey ahead would be difficult, even dangerous, but he was ready. For the first time, he understood that humanity could rise to meet the stars, and he would lead the way. The first steps outside the palace were both awe-inspiring and intimidating for Liam. The crystalline mountains rose sharply around him, their peaks glowing with the last rays of the violet sun. Rivers of liquid light flowed between the valleys, twisting and turning like serpents made of color. Strange creatures moved gracefully across the plains, some winged and translucent, others towering and elegant, but none approached him aggressively. The alien queen walked beside him, her 6 arms moving gently, occasionally gesturing toward the environment as if she were introducing him to a new world. "This is the wilds of Vayara 9, she said. "Here, the lessons of the crystal realm will be tested in reality." The creatures, the terrain, the energy flows, all respond to intent and action. Observe carefully, understand quickly, act wisely. Liam nodded, feeling the weight of her words. The palace had been a controlled environment, designed to teach, guide, and protect. This was different. Here, danger was real, and his decisions would matter, not just for himself, but for the delicate balance of this world. As they walked, Liam noticed a herd of massive quadrupeds grazing in a valley below. Their skin shimmered like polished stone, and crystalline horns curved elegantly from their heads. The creatures lifted their heads as he approached, studying him with intelligent, unafraid eyes. Liam realized that they were assessing him, just as he assessed them. "Do not underestimate them," the queen cautioned. "Even seemingly gentle creatures have strength and instincts that can protect them or threaten you. Respect life and it will respect you." Liam's attention was drawn to a small cluster of floating orbs of light moving above the river. They pulsed with a soft rhythm, changing colors in response to their surroundings. The queen noticed his gaze. "Those are the Aryans. They are curious and observant. You may learn from them if you pay attention. They show the flow of energy through the land, a guide for those who know how to see." Liam followed their path, noticing subtle patterns in their movement that reflected changes in the terrain and shifts in the energy of the planet. He began to understand what the queen meant. The wilds were alive in ways humans rarely experienced. Every creature, every river, every crystal formation interacted with each other, creating a complex network that responded to thought, action, and emotion. They came to a narrow gorge where the river of light split into multiple channels, each glowing with different intensities and colors. The path forward was not obvious. Liam hesitated, unsure which route to take. The queen stepped aside, her eyes observing him carefully. "Do you see, human?" she asked softly. "Every choice has consequence. Choose incorrectly and you may find yourself trapped, delayed, or worse. The wilds test perception, patience, and courage." Liam closed his eyes and breathed deeply. He focused on the rhythm of the Aryans, the pulse of the river, and the gentle vibration of the crystals along the gorge walls. Slowly, he discerned a subtle pattern. One channel shimmered with a consistent, harmonious energy, while the others were chaotic and unstable. "This one," he said, pointing toward the harmoniously glowing channel. The queen smiled faintly. "Well done, human. Understanding precedes action. Step forward with confidence." Carefully, Liam crossed the river, his boots barely making a sound on the glowing surface. The energy of the channel seemed to guide his movements, making the crossing smooth despite the rapid flow of light beneath him. He reached the other side without incident and looked back at the gorge. The chaotic channels churned violently, as though warning him of the consequences of a poor decision. The journey continued deeper into the wilds. Soon, they encountered a dense forest of crystalline trees. Their branches extended high into the sky, covered in sharp, glittering leaves that reflected the light in countless directions. Sounds of distant creatures echoed through the forest, calls, rustlings, and vibrations that seemed almost like music. "Now," the queen said, gesturing to the forest, "you face your first living trial. The creatures here are intelligent and adaptive. They may observe you, test you, or even challenge you. You must act wisely." Before Liam could respond, the forest shifted. Shadows moved between the crystalline trunks, and from the darkness emerged a creature unlike any he had seen. It was roughly the size of a human, but its skin shimmered like liquid crystal, reflecting light in constantly changing patterns. Its eyes glowed with intelligence, and it moved with a fluid grace that suggested both speed and cunning. "This is a Vayari scout," the queen explained. "They protect their territory and learn from those who enter it. You will demonstrate your understanding, courage, and adaptability to them. Observe first, act second." Liam froze, studying the creature. It tilted its head, watching him silently, then took a step closer. He remembered the lessons of the crystal realm: patience, observation, understanding. Reacting too quickly could provoke aggression. He lowered his gaze slightly, not in fear, but as a sign of respect, mirroring what he had learned in the palace about observing and adapting. The Vayari scout moved closer, sniffing the air around him. Liam held his breath, focusing on remaining calm and steady. Slowly, he extended his hand, palm open, letting the creature see that he meant no harm. The Vayari paused, studying him for what felt like an eternity. Then, with a flick of its shimmering tail, it circled him and retreated, satisfied that he was not a threat. Liam exhaled, relief washing over him. I think that went well, he whispered to the queen. She smiled. It went better than well. You showed understanding, patience, and courage without unnecessary action. The wilds respond to such qualities. They continued through the forest, encountering more creatures, some curious, some cautious, and some aggressive. Each interaction tested Liam's perception, empathy, and judgment. Sometimes he had to retreat strategically. Other times, he had to act decisively to avoid danger or assist a creature in need. Each experience strengthened his connection to the planet and deepened his understanding of the lessons the Queen was teaching. By the time they reached a clearing at the center of the forest, Liam was tired but invigorated. In the center of the clearing was a pool of liquid light, larger and brighter than any he had seen before. The Aryans hovered above it, pulsing in rhythm with the pool's energy. "This is the heart of Vayara 9, the Queen said softly. "It is the source of life, energy, and intelligence on this planet. To approach it is to demonstrate true courage, understanding, and harmony with all living things here. Do you feel ready, human?" Liam approached slowly, aware of every step. He felt the pulse of the planet beneath his feet, the watchful eyes of the creatures around him, and the energy of the heart flowing outward like waves of light and sound. His training, instincts, and lessons from the crystal realm guided him. He knelt at the edge of the pool, reaching out with respect and humility. The heart responded. The water shimmered and rose, forming patterns that reflected the world around him, the creatures, and even the alien queen. Liam realized that his connection to the planet, to its life and energy, was deepening. He was no longer just a visitor. He was part of Vayara 9, and the planet acknowledged his presence. "You have done well, human," the queen said, stepping beside him. "You have faced the wilds, interacted with the creatures, and shown understanding, courage, and adaptability. You are growing beyond what most humans could ever imagine." Liam felt a mix of pride and humility. "Thank you. I feel different. Stronger, more aware, more connected." "That is the purpose," the queen replied. "Your journey is far from over. There will be trials that challenge every skill, every thought, every belief you hold. But with each step you will grow, and humanity's potential will expand with you." As the sun dipped lower, casting long violet shadows across the clearing, Liam knew that he had passed another crucial stage in his transformation. The wilds had tested him in ways no controlled environment could. He had learned to trust his judgment, respect life, and adapt to the unknown. And most importantly, he had begun to see himself as more than a human. He was a representative of his species, standing among the stars with the guidance of the alien queen. As night fell and the luminous creatures of the forest began to glow, the queen guided him back toward the palace. Liam felt tired, yes, but also exhilarated. The lessons of the day had been intense, but they had strengthened him in ways he had never imagined. "You will rest now," the queen said, her voice gentle. "Tomorrow, you face the challenges of the outer planes, where the trials will grow in complexity and intensity. The wilds have prepared you, but the universe beyond will test you even more." Liam nodded, following her into the palace with renewed determination. He was no longer merely a human visitor. He was a student, a representative, and a potential bridge between humanity and the greater universe. And with the guidance of the alien queen, he believed that nothing would be impossible. The morning sun rose over the crystalline mountains of Vayara 9, casting long beams of violet and gold across the plains. Liam stood at the edge of the palace balcony, watching the horizon. Today, he knew, would mark the ultimate test. The alien queen appeared beside him, her presence as commanding as ever, yet tempered with warmth. "Today," she said, her 6 arms moving with graceful precision, "you will face the final trial. Not the trial of crystals or creatures, but of choice and courage on a scale that matters not only to you but to many worlds." Liam nodded, determination in his eyes. The previous trials had tested his mind, perception, and adaptability. The wilds had tested his courage and judgment in the presence of life forms, unlike any on Earth. Now, the Queen's words suggested something far greater awaited. She led him through the palace gates to a vast plateau, where hundreds of creatures from the wilds had gathered, along with strange alien beings Liam had never seen. Each one observed the pair with intelligence and curiosity, waiting for what would happen next. "The final trial," the queen said, her voice echoing across the plateau, "requires action. Observation and understanding are no longer enough. You must make decisions that affect life, energy, and balance on Veyara 9. You must demonstrate what humanity can contribute to the universe." Liam looked out across the plateau and saw it clearly. At the far end, a rift of dark energy cut through the ground, a crack in the fabric of the planet itself. From it, unstable pulses of energy threatened to disrupt the harmony of the land. If left unchecked, the rift could spread, harming creatures, energy flows, and the delicate balance of Veyara 9. "Your task," the queen continued, "is to close this rift. It will not be simple. The energy is volatile, dangerous, and unpredictable. You must combine observation, understanding, courage, and strength to succeed." Liam took a deep breath, feeling the pulse of the planet beneath him. He had grown since arriving on Veyara 9. The Crystal Realm had taught him foresight, the wilds had taught him courage and empathy, and every lesson from the Queen had strengthened his mind, body, and spirit. He knew he was ready. As he approached the rift, the ground trembled and the dark energy swirled violently, forming jagged shapes that reached out like grasping fingers. Liam could feel the danger, the raw power of something beyond earthly comprehension, yet he did not falter. He focused on the lessons he had learned. Observation first. The rift pulsed in a rhythm, a pattern hidden beneath its chaotic energy. Understanding. The pulses corresponded with the energy flows of the land, the rivers, the crystals, the life forms. Courage, he could not hesitate or the rift would expand further. And strength, he had to act decisively. Liam extended his hands and allowed his own life energy, sharpened and attuned through the Queen's teachings, to flow outward. The energy spread, intertwining with the natural pulses of Veyara 9. The rift pulsed violently in response, striking out with chaotic bursts of power, yet Liam held his focus. Minutes passed, though they felt like hours. The rift lashed out, testing him, attempting to disrupt his concentration. Yet Liam remembered every lesson: patience, observation, courage, and understanding. He adjusted his energy, synchronized it with the planet's pulse, and slowly the chaos began to diminish. Around him, the creatures of the wilds watched in awe. The Aryans glowed brighter, reflecting the harmony beginning to return. Even the Veyari scouts who had once tested him hovered in still observation, recognizing his growing connection to the planet. Finally, with a final surge of focused energy, Liam closed the rift completely. The dark pulses vanished, replaced by a calm, radiant glow that spread across the plateau. The energy of Veyara 9 flowed smoothly once more, creatures moving freely, and the balance restored. Liam fell to his knees, exhausted but triumphant. The alien queen approached him, her expression unreadable for a moment before softening into a radiant smile. She extended her arms, wrapping him gently in a protective embrace. "You have done it, human," she said. "You have faced the ultimate trial and succeeded, not by force alone, but through understanding, courage, and wisdom. You have proven that humanity is capable of greatness, even among the stars." Liam stood, his chest heaving, eyes wide with awe. I couldn't have done it without your guidance," he said humbly. "Or without the lessons of the Crystal Realm and the wilds. Everything taught me how to see, how to act, and how to be." He paused, searching for words. "More than I thought I could be." The Queen's gaze softened, and she placed a hand gently on his shoulder. "You are not merely a human. You are a bridge between worlds, a symbol of potential. Today, you have not only saved Veyara 9, but demonstrated the true spirit of your species. Courage, intelligence, compassion, all qualities that will serve humanity well as it reaches for the stars." Liam felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He had been scared, unsure, and overwhelmed when he first arrived. Now, after trials that tested every skill, he stood as a representative of humanity's potential. His species, often underestimated, had qualities that could influence the universe positively. And he had proven that humans could rise to challenges far greater than anything Earth had ever faced. Around them, the creatures of the wilds began to move toward Liam, a gesture of recognition and respect. The Veyari scouts bowed their crystalline heads slightly. The Aryans glowed in harmony with the energy flows. Even the mountains and rivers seemed to pulse in acknowledgement of his achievement. The alien queen turned her gaze back to him. Your journey here is not over, human. But today you have shown that humanity has value, not merely as a species, but as participants in the greater universe. There will be other worlds, other trials, and other beings. And humanity, through you and others like you, will meet them with courage and wisdom. Liam took a deep breath, feeling the pulse of the planet, the energy of the wilds, and the presence of the queen surrounding him. I understand now. I will carry these lessons with me wherever humanity goes. We will rise, not just survive. And I will help guide my people to be ready for what awaits. The queen nodded, her arms wrapping around him once more. Yes, human, you belong not only to this world but to the universe. Remember that strength without understanding is empty, knowledge without courage is incomplete, and life without compassion is meaningless. Today you have embodied all three. For a long moment, Liam stood in the embrace of the alien queen, feeling the harmony of Vayara 9, the respect of its creatures, and the weight of his own achievements. He was tired, yet invigorated. He was a human, yet more than that, a symbol, a bridge, a living testament to humanity's potential. The sun dipped lower, casting long shadows across the plateau, and the air shimmered with the energy of life, harmony, and understanding. Liam felt a deep sense of peace. He had faced fear, chaos, and uncertainty and emerged stronger, not just as a human, but as a representative of humanity's courage, intelligence, and spirit. You have done well, human, the queen said softly, breaking the silence. The universe will take note. And through your actions, humanity has earned a place among the stars, not by conquest, but by wisdom, courage, and understanding. Liam looked out across the plateau one last time, seeing the creatures, the flowing rivers of light, and the crystalline mountains bathed in the violet glow. He felt proud, humbled, and inspired all at once. Thank you, he said, his voice filled with quiet determination. I will not forget. Humanity will rise to meet the stars, and we will do so with the values you have taught me. The queen's smile radiated approval. Then rest now, human. Tomorrow, the universe awaits, and your journey continues. But today, you have proven what humans can achieve. Today, you have shown that humanity belongs not only to Earth, but to the cosmos. As Liam stood on the plateau, feeling the pulse of Vayara 9 and the embrace of the alien queen, he knew this was only the beginning. The universe was vast, full of unknown wonders and challenges, yet he no longer feared it. He was ready. Humanity was ready, and with courage, understanding, and wisdom, nothing could stop them. The stars above began to shimmer as night fell, each one a reminder of the limitless possibilities ahead. And Liam, standing at the heart of an alien world, knew that humanity's story among the stars had only just begun.